This is 7.5 Radio with Walter Yerkew and Peter Scoop Stanton. This is the radio show that will break your neck, if your neck needs breaking. And here are the hosts of 7.5 Radio, Walter Yerkew, star of the biggest documentary movie ever made, The 7.5, and Peter Scoop Stanton, who starred in To Catch a Predator.
How many more times treat me the way you want to do?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, one and all. This is Peter Scoop Stanton with Walter Yerkew on 7.5 Radio. Check us out at 75radio.org, the number 75radio.org. We are red hot and rolling this 1st of November 2025. And as usual, this is 7.5 Radio in a nutshell. Walter, how are we doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing pretty good there, Scooper. How are you doing?
I'm doing outstanding. Reason why I say this is 7.5 Radio, is supposed to have everybody on, and we got half the crew working today. But anyways, we'll fix that first commercial break. Anyways, we want to say hello to all of our special listeners, including Little Billy Keebler and the men and the alleged woman of the Yanadasas, New York Fire Department, New York's finest, New York's bravest, New York's boldest, New York's strongest, and those living on Long Island in the 2nd Congressional District. As always, first order of business, we want to remember members of the law enforcement community who were murdered in the line of duty. Tonight, we remember Deputy Andrew Nunez of the San Bernardino, California Sheriff's Office, and to watch October 27, 2025, his killer is in custody. Now, with the government shutdown, the EBT community should have gone away, but due to some liberal lawyers and some liberal judges, SNAP benefits miraculously appeared. So anyways, so people can go out and get their steaks, get their lobsters, get all the junk food, get whatever else, sell their benefits for weed or cigarettes or whatever they want to purchase with that money. But anyways, the whole SNAP program is just a big giveaway. Earlier this week, I went on another platform, said they're fat Fs. Because these people absolutely destroy the American economy, because there are 41.7 million people on EBT, averaging $188 a month, which equals $7.8 billion a month in EBT benefits. New York State alone, they spend over $600 million in EBT benefits. The USDA gives it to New York State, and they turn around and give it to these recipients. Now, don't get me wrong that these people do, there's a small amount of people that do need this for whatever reason, physical or mental incapacity, or they lost a job, or they can't work for whatever reason. You know, they should get it, and because we don't see people homeless. But the overwhelming majority of these people, we see them time and time again, especially the first of the month. Today is November the 1st, and we call it Mother's Day. Okay, breaking news. We got the whole 7.5 Radio family. We'll talk about EBT benefits later. Anyways, we did want to start off today, November the 1st, 2025, as to celebrate the fact that 7.5 Radio has the world's first radio spokesmodel anywhere in radio broadcasting, Ms. Danila Rodrigues. Also, we have Mike Rakebrand on board. Danila, how are we doing tonight, madam?
We are doing great. So good to be here.
Outstanding. Mike, how are we doing?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Sorry about the lateness. Was distracted with something else real quick, but I am here now to make fun of you.
You're probably looking at pictures of Danila, you sicko. Anyways, Danila, we were hanging out at the home of Luciano de la Torre, which was ground zero for all of our best shows. And it was July 1st of 2023. You came on, and you looked absolutely fabulous. and you knocked it out of the park. And you are a model. I've seen you actually walk the runway, and I said, I wonder it'd be nice. I wonder if she wants to become a spokesmodel, because we're a different kind of radio show. Walter and I have been doing this for over 7 years. We've never met face to face, but I said, hey, Danila, I'd like to have you come on the radio. You'll be the face of the radio. The old adage is that one has a face for radio and a voice for newsprint, but with modern technology, that's all changed. And for whatever reason, you said yes. I'm like, oh, my God. And you came on October 28th, 2023, right here at Luciano's house. I'm sitting on the porch that we broadcast our best show ever. And, again, you just knocked it out of the park. You looked absolutely amazing. I look like literally myself. I'm wearing the same costume I wore 2 years ago, because I don't get out much. But, anyways, Danila, it's been an absolute blast.
Brokeback Mountain costume?
Probably Brokeback Mountain. Come on. We're trying to we'll talk about the first show in a minute. But anyways, Danila, every time I mention you, put your face on something, the numbers on the website go up dramatically. And that very first show, it was myself, Mr. Yerkew, and Charlie LaDuff. And Charlie had a few too many already, and I thought this is going very bad very quickly. Now, I was worried you'd jump in your car and smoke them Goodyears all the way back home. But you stuck. Not only you stuck with us, you dealt with me for over 2 years. And for that, I say thank you. But anyways, Danila, how does it feel to be the very first radio spokesmodel for 7.5 Radio?
Well, it's a pleasure. Actually, I never thought I would be one. So when you invited me, I just said, why not? And it's been amazing. It's been quite amazing, And to know you personally, you're a great person, a great spirit, always make my day better. So, yeah, it's a pleasure.
Well, Danila, to be honest, you make my life better, but we'll talk about that offline. But anyways, Danila, what was your first experience on 7.5 Radio with Walter and Charlie and myself?
Well, it's surprisingly, I felt like family, it was so easy to talk to you guys, to listen to you guys. It's nothing but a family, so I feel like I fit it. And pretty easily, yeah. Right.
And when I first introduced you, I was sitting there nervous, going, oh, my God, I can't believe she's doing this, and I can't believe I'm sitting next to this beautiful woman, and she's coming on this. But and you stuck with us, which is just absolutely amazing. And just off the air, it's been a hell of a trip, a hell of a ride. We've done a whole bunch of things together. We were hanging out at Luciano's house. I can't thank him enough for everything he's done. Every time we do a show here, it's just out of the park. But anyways, let me turn over to Walter and Mike. Well, let's see you about 2 years with Danila sticking out with us.
Well, yeah, I mean, sticking up, you're sticking it out with me and Mike is no problem. It's you're the one she sees all the time, so it is amazing. It is amazing she's still with us, and we appreciate her parties, her input, her girlfriends. We appreciate that, because if it wasn't for none of that, Scoop never would be meeting any pretty women. Or any woman with a pulse, but once you get him, away from that Brokeback Mountain cowboy Halloween outfit, I'm sure he's good to go.
Okay, Mike, can you make this conversation any worse?
Oh, I'm sure I could. Well, first of all, thank you, Danila, for sticking with us for 2 years. Danila's awesome. She's absolutely an awesome person, truly successful, wonderful person, and we're happy to have her on board. And I don't know, I personally have a theory about why Danila puts up with you. Well, you tell me if I'm wrong. I think it's kind of like charity work, right? Like, she has to put in some kind of charity work, almost. And that's kind of what this is. It's like a charity kind of thing. And what do you think, Walt? Do you think so?
Yeah, like a quota. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You
She's got to hang out with one or two dweebs during the course of the year, and he's one of them.
Yeah, he's like both of them combined,
Really? I mean, nice. How about thanking Danila for putting up for me, making me a better person, letting us put her image on all the archives and stuff. But anyways, we come back. We'll spend more time with the entire family, Walter Urq, Mike Raybrae, and the world's first radio spokesmodel, Danila Rodrigues. Stay tuned, everybody.
Introducing PrepStartsNow.com, your ultimate guide to readiness and peace of mind. We offer practical preparedness tools, training, and education to take your family's household readiness to the next level. Browse the prep shop for essential products, check out our planning guides, and stay informed with our prep blog. Visit PrepStartsNow.com and subscribe to our emails for exclusive offers, new products, and future events. Remember, preparedness begins with PrepStartsNow.com.
Abby Johnson was once director of a Planned Parenthood clinic in Bryan, Texas. After a moral crisis, she quit, and now she campaigns against what she once endorsed.
They implement abortion quotas in all of their clinics.
What do you mean quotas?
You have to perform a certain number of abortions every month. One of the reasons that I left...
Are they explicit about that?
Yes. It's in your budget, right there on the line item. One of the reasons I left Planned Parenthood was because in a budget meeting I was told to double that abortion quota. And for me, as someone who had spoken to the media and had said, we're about reducing the number of abortions, we're about, prevention, all of these other services, I was shocked to hear this.
You actually worked at a Planned Parenthood, give us some sense of the relative number of abortions.
Okay, abortions, Planned Parenthood provides over 330,000 abortions a year. They are the largest single abortion provider in our country.
Former Sheriff Richard Mack recounts in his book The Proper Role of Law Enforcement how he came to realize while working as a beat cop how wrong the all-too-common orientation of police officers is when they think of their job as being to write tickets and arrest people. Richard Mack tells of his personal transformation from by-the-number cop to Constitution-conscious defender of citizen safety and freedoms. Learn what it really means to serve and protect. Purchase your copy at CSPOA.org. That's CSPOA.org.
You're back, and Scoop is just getting done staring at Danila's Instagram account. Here's more 7.5 Radio.
And we are back. Scoop Stanton with Walter Urq, Mike Raybrae, and 7.5 Radio spokesmodel Danila Rodrigues. And Mr. Edwards, I did not have to look at Danila's Instagram account because I did see Danila tonight, and she looked absolutely amazing. And we took a selfie. She's in she's an astronaut uniform. I'm in my Sons of Anarchy gear. So she's going to places, and I'm going to jail. But anyways, you might ask yourself, well, Scoop, how come Danila's not with you? Did you scare her off again? No. She is one of the hardest working people I've met in my life. Besides her modeling career, she also runs DR Wellness and Aesthetics to help women and some men to look absolutely amazing. And she was telling me what she does. She's able to do rhinoplasty without surgery. I'm like, what? So she's got to meet some people about some business. And not only does she modeling, she does aesthetics, DR Wellness and Aesthetics. Look it up online, those who live in the DMV. And she puts over me here on 7.5 Radio. That's why I call her Wonder Woman. And on top of that, she's got some beautiful, awesome kids. Danila, how do you do all this? I mean, how do you sleep?
Very carefully. Well, it's just life day by day being blessed. I am blessed. I have three beautiful kids, 2 dogs, and a friend like you. So, there's every day a reason to get up and do better. You know, that's all I want to do better every day.
Right.
It's a goal of
And-
mine, yeah.
Right, Danila, I've known you for a couple of years. You told me about your personal background. There's no quitting you. You follow through on everything. Now, one time you never felt sorry for yourself, which is just absolutely amazing. And again, you're here on 7 to 5 radio, and Walter, myself, and Mike have a checker past doing things we shouldn't be doing. But we're here together, and I always say things happen for a reason. Anyways, before our next commercial break, Mike, I'll turn it over to you. Do you have anything you want to you need to add, or any insults towards me?
Well, I mean, I could add 1,000 insults towards you. That's easy. I mean, you want to go for the low-hanging fruit here? That's no problem at all.
Come on.
Come up with 100.
Come. All right. Do you have anything good to say?
Danila's an amazing person, and people should definitely go check out all the things she's involved in, because everything she's doing is wonderful. She's hardworking. She puts the effort in, and it shows. Right? That's how it works. If you're putting in the effort, you're doing the work, it's going to come to you. It's going to be good. It's going to work out well.
Exactly.
And she's living proof of that. So she's very blessed. She's right, and she's deservedly blessed because she's putting in that work. So God bless her, and I'm happy to hear things are going so well for her.
Right.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, you have anything to add to our spokesmodel?
Mike has said plenty. It's a lot what Danila has done for our reputation. she's improved it an awful lot. It's got to be tough, hanging out with a bunch of ex-cops and and our attitudes and such. But I believe that Danila has done a great job for us, and I hope that she continues far into the future.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot.
Right. Well, I mean, Danila, like day one and ever since, I always say a couple things. One, we're family. Two, it's what we do. I mean, we don't have the biggest.
You wish you were family living in Kentucky. That's what you wish.
Hey, Danny met the family, and when she met my father for the first time in the hospital. Dad instantly fell in love with her, and then she met my brother Shrek Stanton, who actually behaved.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. My bad.
Shrek. Yes. Oh. Well, he needs a friend. A lot of all the women up in Yanadasas look like him with a full beard. But anyways, but Danny, like I said before, it's absolutely right. Hey, just hang out with you. Like, even if not doing radio or anything like that, it's just a time of my life. You bit the bullet, took one for the team, and actually went up to Yanadasas, because I keep telling everybody down here, it's like, hey, come on up. We'll go hang. You meet the family, hang on the boat, have a couple drinks, and a couple laughs.
It's a beautiful place. It's a paradise.
Right.
Thank you for having me there. Oh my goodness. Looking forward
again,
to go
Danny, your family. And then we went to the up north, and Mike, Sue, and Ed. They fell in love with you instantly. And that's another thing about you, Danny. Everybody that crossed your path just absolutely loves you instantly. At Ed's party back in 23, I look over. I was like, "Is this lady lost? Is she at the right place?" And and Ed introduced us, and it was like, "Oh, this is Danila." I was like, "Wow, what a gorgeous person," and your personality just supersedes you. That's why I was like, not only are you just absolutely drop dead gorgeous, but your personality is just second to none. I mean, I wish society could emulate you, and this place would be much better. Instead, they emulate like my brother.
Goodness.
But anyways, any final thoughts about being with 7-5 Radio or having to deal with Walter and especially Mike, or you're just glad you get to hang with Scoop Stanton?
Well, I want to just thank you guys. Thank you, Scooper, for inviting me, brought me into this family, Even though, I haven't met you guys, besides Scoop, I feel like I know you through, the stories that Scoop tells me, and I'm just so glad that I said yes. Thank you for 2 years.
Right, and I'm so glad you said yes. But anyways, Danny, on a side note, I have some friends of ours, they said, I would be the 7-5 radio spokesmodel. I said, no. I said, Danila is the only person as a spokesmodel. And if you decide to hang it up, say, you guys are too much, or scoop, leave me alone, I'm going to follow that restraining order. Guess what? That's it for spokesmodel. But anyways, we're glad you're here. I'm especially glad you put up with us, put up with me, put up the rest of the Stanton clan. But like I said before, things happen for a reason, and I'll admit that the entire world, I'm a better man since I met you. So, anyways, all right, what time we got? I'm just sitting there, just running my gums. Anybody have anything else? Or Danny, let me ask you this: what's next for you? You got the business going. You got your modeling going. Will there be another calendar?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to be another calendar. No, I just want to focus now on, keeping everything I work for going. Take this year like more soft, not slow, because I don't like that word. But and not a break as well, but just keep it going, and see the opportunities day by day. And I believe the opportunities are made by who make them. And I just gonna keep my options open, and I know that God has greater things to yet to come, So, pretty much.
Lord works in mysterious ways. I know that for a fact.
He's perfect.
Right. And Danny, you're the American dream come true. You came to this country from Brazil, and you worked your backside off, your beautiful backside off, and you're a successful model. You run a successful business. Ladies, if you live in the DMV, go to DR Wellness and Aesthetics, and you made it on the radio. You were mentioned in Talkers Magazine twice. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. 0. Well, they mentioned my name as a side item. 75 Radio is hosted by Scoop and Walter. But you're the American. You're proof positive that the American dream does work. And then just before you and Mike came on, we're talking about the EBT crisis. People in America, they were handed everything, which it shouldn't be. If you show an example, you work your ass off, you can achieve things. And if I work my ass off, I can also achieve things like bringing a spokesmodel to a radio show. But I always say, like, if you told me 30 years ago that you're going to be doing a radio show with one of Mike Badow's partners and a beautiful Brazilian model, I'm like, you're out of your cotton picking mind. What kind of crack you smoking? But here we are, and we're not the biggest show by any means, but we're a lot bigger than other outlets. But I'm just so happy with the crew I got, the family I have, because I do consider each and every one of you family, even you, Mike. But it's just a great group of people, and I look. Like when Led Zeppelin starts playing at 5 minutes after the hour, I still get chills. The day I don't get any chills, that's the day I'm going to hang it up. But I don't plan on hanging up anytime soon. All right, anybody got anything before the doors start cutting in?
Yeah, I got a suggestion for next Halloween.
Yes.
I suggest you go blackface and call yourself Spook Stanton.
Come on. All right. Danny, real quick. I grew my face out for this costume. You think I should keep it or shave it?
No comment.
All right.
You shave it and get a haircut.
Yeah.
I did have a haircut. All right, Danny, music playing. Are you going to call it a night, or are you going to stick around some more?
I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much, guys, for having me.
Okay, that is the world's first radio spokesmodel, Danila Rodrigues. Check her out at danilarodrigues.model. When we come back, we'll talk about EBT and the country falling apart. Take it away.
Exposing corruption. Informing citizens. Pursuing liberty. You're listening to Liberty News Radio.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Jason Walker. President Trump putting Nigeria on notice for its persecution of Christians.
The president says Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria and that his administration will designate the West African nation as a country of particular concern. That designation does not necessarily mean that sanctions will be imposed, but is one step ahead of that. The president writes in a social media post that radical Islamists are responsible for the mass slaughter of thousands of Christians. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A major change coming up in the United States Armed Forces. Military leaders have now ordered the National Guard to develop a quick reaction force. Here's correspondent Ben Thomas.
A set of memos circulated this month directs National Guard units in all 50 states and U.S. territories to train a contingent of soldiers to deal with civil disturbances and riots, and to have them ready to deploy with just hours' notice. The specialized course includes the proper use of batons, body shields, stun guns, and pepper spray, all part of his vision of a muscular role for the military in his crackdown on illegal immigration and crime in U.S. cities. Ben Thomas, Washington.
Republicans very upset and angry, looking for a fight. It's been learned the Biden administration was behind Arctic frost, a huge spy operation that sought to learn more about activities of conservative organizations and GOP politicians. Ukrainian forces hitting a crucial fuel pipeline near Moscow. This supplies the Russian army. Operation carried out late Friday targeted the Colt-Savoy pipeline. Daylight saving time ending Sunday morning, 2 o'clock local time. Before you go to bed tonight, set your watch and clocks back 1 hour. More on these stories, townhall.com.
You know, life moves fast. Staying sharp, focused, and clear-headed isn't always easy. That's why the same company that brings you Relief Factor has developed something brand new, Think Factor. Think Factor is made to help you think clearer and perform better daily. It's a powerful blend of nutrients that unlocks mental clarity and precision, nurtures your memory, boosts your attention. With Think Factor, brain power and performance finally meet for lasting daily results. Supercharge your memory, mental sharpness. Your brain is your most valuable asset, powering your creativity, focus, and daily performance. If you're feeling mentally foggy, give it a try. After a couple of weeks of taking Think Factor, it was a game changer for me. Look, the longer you take Think Factor, the better it works for you. If you've ever thought you want to be more clear, more focused, call 800-4-RELIEF. 800, the number 4-RELIEF, or visit ReliefFactor.com to learn more and order Think Factor. Your first bottle is just $19.95. Think Factor. Think clearer, perform better daily. Call 800-4-RELIEF or visit ReliefFactor.com for Think Factor.
As a parent, is receiving a faith-based, character-focused education for your children difficult to find? Do you believe that godly principles should be a central component in your child's education? Imagine a school where faith and integrity are at its center, where heritage and responsibility instill character. For over 40 years, American Heritage School has been educating both hearts and minds, bringing out academic excellence. This is the school where character and embracing the providence of a living God are fundamental, where students' national test scores average near the 90th percentile. With American Heritage School's advanced distance education program, distance is no longer an issue. With an accredited LDS-oriented curriculum from kindergarten through 12th grade, your children can attend from anywhere in the world. American Heritage School will prepare your child for more than a job. It will prepare them for life. To learn more, visit american-heritage.org. That's american-heritage.org.
Get ready to be part of something incredible. We're breaking barriers and delivering the powerful stories that mainstream media won't touch. Your support is what fuels our mission to revolutionize journalism and bring you the truth. Join our passionate community of changemakers by donating at libertynewsradio.com today. Together, we're creating the future of news.
Do you know what is great about America? Ask an Immigrant. Ask an Immigrant is a new podcast dedicated to helping Americans, especially our youth, value, appreciate, and be grateful for the freedoms we have here in America. Join host Lydia Wallace-Nuttall as she interviews immigrants from around the world to discover their inspiring personal stories about why they came to America. To learn more about why America is the most prosperous, greatest country in the world, download the Loving Liberty app or go to lovingliberty.net.
Wow, you're still listening? Here's more 7.5 Radio.
And we are back. Of course, you're still listening. We just had Danila on, the lovely Danila Rodrigues. But anyways, like I said before, she's a testament of the American work ethic. She's doing three things. Mike, you're doing three things besides 7.5 Radio. I'm also doing three things besides 7.5 Radio. And unfortunately, Walter paid his debt to society, worked his ass off. He is fortunately retired. Not comfortably, but he is retired. But before Mike and Danila called in, we were talking about the EBT crisis. Now, a bunch of leftist judges leftist lawyers went to a leftist judge, and the government had to fund EBT. And it's costing us $7 billion a month. Trillions of dollars throughout the years, decades, and we have nothing to show for it. And I'm sick of... Guys, tell me if this is not true. You go... First of the month, you go to the supermarket, and the customer ahead of you's got steaks, lobster, junk food, brand name cereal, brand name everything, and they got $500-600 worth of stuff, and they pay by EBT cards. Tell me that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
Anybody?
It happens a lot. It happens a lot. The SNAP program, the food stamps, the old welfare program, and, that stuff is supposed to be temporary. It's not supposed to be a lifelong dream like a politician's career. You're supposed to be on it until you get on your feet and then, do it yourself, the American way, but we've had too many soft government officials, too many soft civil servants, and they just pencil whip a lot of people through. Okay? They meet the minimum of the minimum of the minimum guidelines, which means that sooner or later they shouldn't meet those minimum guidelines. They should be able to get out there, wake up at 5:30 in the morning, take their shower, eat their breakfast, get their kids off to school, and go to work. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. About 15, 17 years ago, I was sitting in the doctor's office. Okay, now I used to do case management for mentally challenged, developmentally disabled adults, and I got this fella at the doctor's office, and the doctor's office was packed. Sitting next to me, there was a guy in the chair and a woman sitting on his lap. Okay, you just don't do that. And the little girl that they had there was hers, and she was sick, and she was snot, and she was dripping, and the mom was on the telephone, apparently with a DHS worker. And I heard her say, I wouldn't mind taking the job, but as long as it doesn't interfere with my check. And that's what's going on, I'm guessing 60% of the time. And it's disgusting. It's horrible. I just can't understand, I worked. I got up in the morning, took my son to school, went to work. In the evening, did what I had to do with him in the gym and karate, and came home and fed him and put him to bed. And, that's what we did. These people, they're shoving their kids out the door for the school bus, and they're going back to sleep. Or they're taking them to school, and they're still in their pajamas. Not the kids, the moms. So, it's really, really disheartening and disgusting that you have people climbing on Facebook, calling us MFers because they're not going to get their SNAP benefit this month. But, okay, well, if you're on SNAP How in the hell do you have a computer or a cell phone? How in the hell do you get that? You see, so money is coming from somewhere, and they need accountability. They need to have accountability.
Right. Mike, how many times do you go to a house for a crime scene or a call for service, and you get to the apartment, and there's like generations of people on public assistance, but no father?
No, it's like almost every time. But that was socially engineered, right? The welfare system was socially engineered to break the fathers out of the homes, out of minority homes. That's what they did. They did that in the 50s or 60s to make it exactly what it is. They did that for a reason, because they wanted to keep them in the new plantation, keep them in that position, keep them in the ghetto, and keep them voting Democrat. That's basically all it came down to. No, I'm good. But that's been around for a long, long time. It's been like that forever. So It's not surprising to see. But now everybody's butthurt about it. They're butthurt about losing their benefits or whatever. Well, guess what? The same party they've been voting for all this time are the ones that actually did this just now, that created this mess that's in right this moment. Their very own party is the ones doing this because they want health care for illegal aliens and sex change operations for minors. So, I mean, they have nobody to blame but themselves.
Right, but here's a question for both of you. Why, back in the 90s, 93, 94, when Giuliani was sworn into office, and then the government came down with the crackdown on welfare, why is it now, 30 years later, like no politician is saying, oh, we need to crack down on welfare, get rid of the welfare mothers, and get these people to work? Is it to protect their ass from getting voted out of office?
Well, yeah, of course it's to protect themselves.
Yeah, it's exactly it.
But see, if I'm a Republican and I want to get tough on welfare and have drug tests, have these people welfare to work, they're not going to vote for me. The welfare segment's not going to vote for me in the first place. So why are they afraid to be called racist or something like that? Because the majority, statistically speaking, black and brown people are more on public assistance than white people.
Kamala said, some years ago that, about the voting, and everybody needs an ID for voting. She says, well, they can't get down to the ginkgos. Well, holy GD, if they could get down to the Human Resources Office to get onto public assistance, and they could get to the corner to buy a bag of dope, they can go and get a freaking a job and move it along. This is utterly ridiculous. Thank God she's not in the office now. Thank God she's not in office.
Right. Tell me if this sounds crazy, that we spent trillions of dollars on the social welfare system. We have nothing to show for it. Our airports look like something from the third world. We don't have a third Hudson River crossing between Manhattan and New Jersey. We don't have a bridge connecting Nassau County to Westchester County. Our public schools are a mess. Our mass transportation is a mess. Amtrak's using 50-year-old trains to get people up and down the Eastern Corridor. I mean, am I wrong? Do we have nothing to show for it?
No, you're absolutely right. The infrastructure's falling apart. We have a welfare state. We have the infrastructure falling apart across the country. Roads, bridges collapsing, everything else falling apart. The infrastructure is a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. But we have a giant welfare state. So no, you're not wrong.
Right.
You're not wrong at all.
Look at the correlation between the national debt and the amount of money we spent on the social welfare system. If we had roads and bridges, guess what? We'd have more cars and trucks and buying more gasoline and diesel, and then keep the economy moving. But we just made it too easy for these people. I wish we should be like Japan, because Japan's got hypersonic trains going up and down the various islands, and I doubt they spent nearly as much as the U.S. does on the social welfare system.
It's a cultural thing for them, right? They have a much higher. They place more, weight into personal honor and personal integrity and accountability than we do here. There's no accountability. Go look to social media. You see anybody being accountable, or is everybody blaming everybody else? The word narcissist is thrown around so much by women nowadays. It's insane, right? Because Every man who doesn't give them exactly what they want and do exactly as they say is all of a sudden a narcissist. You know, come on. It's a completely backwards culture. It's a completely poisoned, inside-out, toxic culture. And it's not going to get better until people start holding themselves accountable. And that's not going to happen until they start being held accountable.
Mike, you brought up an excellent point. There's zero accountability. Like, I know the three of us were growing up. If we did something wrong, we're going to suffer the consequences. Walter, you suffered the consequences as an adult, but guess what? Did you go out and blame anybody? No. You got up on your high horse and worked your ass off to get what you got now. And then, Mike, you had like me, you had issues with the job, and they showed you the door. But guess what? You're working your ass off on both ends, killing yourself to make it. Anyways, we come back, we'll finish up with Mamdani and the Virginia race and wherever else we can squeeze into. This is 75 Radio on Liberty News Radio Network.
In the medical field, IT security is crucial. Our highly skilled consultants are HIPAA certified and have 20-plus years of experience servicing medical clinics, billing, and supply companies. We offer comprehensive endpoint protection, guarding your computers and servers against all stages of threats. And with our 24/7 monitoring services, you'll never worry about extensive downtime again. Ready to level up your IT support? Call 801-706-6980 today and discover how great IT services can be with managed IT services.
Scott Bradley here. Most Americans are painfully aware that the nation is on the wrong track and in dire straits. Unfortunately, most political pundits only nibble around the edges when they claim to address the issues. Even worse, many of the so-called solutions are simply rewarmed servings of what got us into the mess we currently face. And the politicians think we're so gullible and naive that we'll buy their lies that they have reformed and now understand where they led us astray. Unfortunately, the truth of the matter is that they simply wish to continue to hold power. The solution to America's challenges is found in returning to the timeless principles found in the United States Constitution. My book and lecture series will reawaken in Americans an understanding and love of the principles which made this nation the freest, most prosperous, happiest, and most respected nation on earth. Visit topreservethenation.com and order my book and lectures to begin the restoration of this great nation.
Experience the untamed spirit of the American West with Range Magazine. Each issue is a visual journey featuring award-winning photography and compelling stories that capture the heart of ranching and rural life. Stay informed on the challenges and triumphs of those who live and work on the land. Subscribe today and receive quarterly editions delivered to your doorstep, and join a community that cherishes the enduring legacy of the Western frontier. Visit rangemagazine.com to subscribe.
This is 7.5 Radio with Walter Yuku. Walter Yurkow. Walter Kiwi. Here's Walton Scoop.
Hey, we are back. Walter Yurkow, Mike Rakebrand, and yours truly, Scoop Stanton, at the home of Luciano De La Torre with the greatest Halloween party ever. Can't thank Luciano for everything he's done. And I was trying to do my due diligence and look at Danila's Instagram account at DanilaRodrigues.model, but for some reason, cell service is just wacky tonight. But when you get a chance, or you have better cell service than myself, look up DanilaRodrigues.model on Instagram. Anyways, and my foot cramped up. God bless America. Anyways, finally, Zohran Mamdani is getting close to becoming the next mayor of the city of New York. 25 years ago, we had a bunch of Muslim hijackers park aircraft into the World Trade Center. So, back in 1993, we had Muslims once again attempting to blow up the World Trade Center by parking a Ryder truck in the parking garage. So then you got Zohran Mamdani hanging out with some guy named Siraj Wahaji, who is an unindicted co-conspirator in the 1993 attacks on the World Trade Center. Let me say that again. you have this Muslim imam. His name is Suraj Wahaji, which is a nice Irish name. Unindicted co-conspirator of the 1993 World Trade Center attacks, said some not nice things about Jews, Muslims, and America. So if you go on the website, you see a picture of the Irish guy, Mamdani, some other dude hanging out. But then last week, he's up in the Bronx at some Islamic cultural center. He was talking about his aunt who didn't want to ride the subway after September 11th because she wore hijab, the headscarf. So some diligent people did their due diligence and found out that, Mamdani does have an aunt, but she lives in Tunisia, and she never wore a hijab. So when questioned about it, he's like, oh, yeah, my dad's cousin, she was the one that rode the subway stopped riding the subway because she wore a hijab after September 11th, but she died a long time ago, so they couldn't research that. So to me, that's just absolute. And then he tried to fake tears in front of the cameras or whatever. Just absolute fake, phony fraud. And this guy's going to lead the biggest city in the nation. Well, what say you about Mamdani's crocodile tears in front of his fellow Muslims concerning his dad's cousin?
I don't think he should be voted in as mayor. Plain and simple, period. In this race, you got to go with the lesser of two evils. You just have to vote, smartly. You don't want somebody like this. He'll just open up the doors to what do they call that? The spire, whatever it is. He'll just open up the basement doors and let them drive in another Hertz rent truck with a bomb in it and try to blow it up. I don't believe in the guy. I think the guy's full of crap. I think he's a freaking. I think he's a plant. Plain and simple. Low level plant. But I think he's on the end of the strings.
All right, Mike, you got anything to add since you know a lot more about stuff than both Walter and I?
If you look at his funding, a lot of his funding came through Soros foundations. So I'll give you an idea where he comes from. And I don't think he's anything other than a giant time bomb waiting to go off in the city. He's disastrous. He'll make de Blasio and Adams look like the freaking greatest thing since sliced bread. He'll be a complete disaster for the city. A complete disaster in every way, shape, and form. And yeah, I do believe this guy's a terrorist sympathizer. He's a dirtbag. So, I don't disagree with Walt at all. I don't disagree with you at all. I think he's a disgrace. The fact that he's even on a ticket is amazing to me.
Right. But Mike, here's something. Like, we know about, Mamdani, he's funded by Soros. All these, like, Alvin Bragg in Manhattan, and this bum out here down here in Virginia. And all these Soros-funded DAs, all these Soros-funded bums, why isn't the Department of Justice going after Soros for sedition? I mean, not only just putting these bummy communist pieces of trash in office, but just all these anti-American activities are supposed to are looking to just destroy society. Why isn't the Department of Justice going after Soros and his people?
They are investigating him now. They're investigating his organizations and him for funding Antifa and other, terrorist activity type organizations. So it's begun. It hasn't gone anywhere near where it should, but it's at least begun.
Right. Finally something. But then again, I'm sure in the last administration, Soros probably gave a lot of money to the Bidens and the Democrats, so they will look the other way. Plus, the Department of Justice was very busy going through Melania Trump's underwear drawer, going after concerned parents at local school board meetings, going after Catholics who wanted the Mass read in Latin, and swearing out fake FISA warrants, going after the politicians. So anyways, we'll see. Tuesday's right around the corner, and people, you go out and vote. I mean, don't sit on your ass. I mean, look what happened 30 years ago. New York City was just an absolute hellhole, and people came out, voted for Giuliani, and he turned New York City around. And then they sat on their hands, they sat home, they said, I'm not voting for the cat guy or Curtis Lee. Why he's a whack job. Well, guess what? You deserve what you don't vote for. And in the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Democrats they don't know when to say when. The head of the House of Delegates, or the House, House of Representatives in Virginia, held a special session about redistricting. Now, under Virginia law, if the House of Delegates is in session, the lieutenant governor must preside. So Winsome Earl-Sears, who's the lieutenant governor of Virginia, she's on the campaign trail trying to get the governor's position, which she should. Glenn Youngkin has done wonders for the Commonwealth of Virginia. So the head of the House of Delegates, his name is Don Scott from Portsmouth, Virginia, another blank hole. He put the House of Delegates in a special session right around election time, so Winsome Earl-Sears cannot go out and stump on the campaign trail. She's got to do it off hours. And the first day of the special sessions, they got absolutely nothing done. And then, just by sheer coincidence, the campaign bus that the Sears campaign was using to travel around the Commonwealth caught on fire. And fortunately, it was only the bus operator on board. Nobody was injured. Sears and her staff were at a campaign stop or whatever. So it's very interesting that this bus with nobody on it just happens to catch fire. Mike, what say you about the Virginia dirty tricks?
I say it's not surprising, right? Nobody's surprised by this. It should be thoroughly and actively investigated, and those responsible should be held to the fullest account. But again, it's not surprising at all. This is what they do. They don't get their way. They act like terrorists. Look at Antifa or anything else they've done over the last 30, 40, 50 years. It's more of the same crap. And until they get held accountable for it, like we talked about earlier, it's not going to change. You have to bring accountability back. It's the only way you're going to fix any of it.
Right. Now, Walter, you know a lot about cars and trucks more than Mike and myself. What's the likelihood of a passenger bus just spontaneously combusting?
The likelihood? An electric bus or a diesel?
No, it's a diesel bus. It's a regular diesel bus.
Well, these terrorists will say anything after there's an explosion to avert the accountability off from them.
Right.
It just doesn't happen. It just does. It's not supposed to happen. But be careful, people.
Right. So, anyways, that's plus if you ride just a regular city bus or Greyhound bus, it's like Spirit Airlines times 10. But anyways, once again, Tuesday is right around the corner. Those who register to vote go out and vote for God's sakes. Anyways, I forgot my train of thoughts. Also in Detroit, they got the mayor's election going on, and those who do live in the Motor City, please write in Charlie LaDuff, because the people there are some trash. Anyways, last couple of seconds, you got anything you want to say before we close it out?
No.
All right. Mike, you got any insults for yours truly, or compliments for Scoop?
Compliments? I have to dig pretty deep for those. I'm not sure if I have anything ready to go for that. No, I appreciate you boys, and I appreciate everything about the show. Thank you, guys.
Okay. All right. So we got not the last couple of minutes, of course. And for Walter Yerkew, Mike Rickman, Danila Rodrigues, this is Peter Scoop Standard reminding you can make a difference. Go out, make it. See you next week. Love you, Danila. Bye.
Edwards for 7-5 Radio. For those who work the streets and the jails, thanks for keeping us safe. So long, everybody.